following podcast contains references to the consumption of alcohol. If you are not of legal drinking age, please do not consume alcohol. Also, if you are of legal drinking age, please drink responsibly.
Hi, welcome to Rhetorical Magic Cocktail Hour. My name is Ryan, and my favorite architectural style is Victorian.
Yeah, I think that's a style. And I'm Matthew, and my favorite style is Prairie School.
Oh, that's specific.
I googled it.
A little Laura Ingalls Wilder moment going for you.
Yeah, I'm falling down in so many wells out on the prairie.
Oh, man. So this is a podcast, correct?
Correct.
Where we like to have a drink and try to be succinct about various things.
Mm-hmm. And every year, we love to test our friendship.
Yeah, we're really good at one part of that little tagline. We're really good at having a drink. Succinct.
Oh, I thought it was being succinct. I'm terrible at drinking. Only half the liquid gets into my mouth.
Oh, man. Yeah, and Matthew's right. We do like to test our friendship each year by picking a band that both of us like and trying to battle it out on what we consider their best song in a tournament of, honestly, it's a battle of will at this point.
It's a battle of will. It's a battle of friendships. It's a battle of music. It's a battle of, and I can't think of another one, so that's all it is.
Yeah, we basically just berate each other into agreeing with our opinions, and then we're bitter about it for like a third of the year.
It's called friendship. Look it up.
Which is honestly the best way to, like, and I love that we get it out of the way early. You know, beginning,
burn it all down
Happy
in
New
a
Year,
cleansing
by
fire.
the way.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Watch two friends determine if they're actually going to stay friends for another 12 months.
Yeah. Happy New Year. Here's the end of a podcast, maybe?
Do you want to tell the audience what the band is this year?
Sure. So this year, that band is the Decemberists, a band that we have both enjoyed since maybe just high school. I don't know. You might have known of them before. Their first album came out when I was in elementary school. Which is,
I was super into like the indie folk scene in elementary school.
In third grade, Castaways and Cutouts just spoke to me.
I was plugged into the scene. No, I don't think I listened to them until high school. Yeah.
But yeah, before we get into the tourney, though, I think I kind of derailed us, and we forgot to do our drinks.
You know, for people who have done a podcast for going on 2.5 years, you think that we would have learned the jump. Matthew, what are you drinking tonight?
So, in honor of the Decemberists, I'm drinking a Syrah, which is referenced in the lyrics of one of their songs from an album. It's Legionnaire's Lament, and I believe it's from Castaways and Cutouts. I'm also wearing a cardigan.
I noticed.
And I'm also wearing a Decemberist shirt, so I'm very prepared for the occasion.
You understood the assignment, and you came... No, I was going to say to play, but it's not play. It's... You came to win.
I came to look aloof in the corner while everybody else is talking about whatever normal people talk about.
Oh, man.
And then the caption above me is just like, they don't know that Castaways and Cutouts is a good album. On that meme. What are you drinking?
I am drinking, and I do apologize because I will have to open it in a moment. I'm drinking a blueberry lemon and lavender quirk because
Ooh.
I didn't think to try and find something in the lyrics.
Because if you can call the Decemberists one thing, it's quirky.
There we go. Beautiful. Mwah. Chef's kiss, lovely. Oh. We will take just a moment of silence while I grip it and rip it. Beautiful.
The first grip it and rip it of the new year.
It wasn't, though.
Of the podcast.
There we go.
There's an asterisk on that.
But yeah, do you want to... We had mentioned that we listened to it in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to talk a bit about our experience with the Decemberists through the years?
Sure. So, personally, me, Matthew, hello, welcome to the podcast. I believe the first time I heard the Decemberist was iTunes used to do like the free single of the week, something.
Mm-hmm.
And Down by the Water from The King is Dead was one of those. And I was just like, I'll just download it. Because I was tangentially aware of them, but I don't think I had heard any of their stuff. And I was like, oh, this is fine. And then I went and listened to The Crane Wife. And it was like, oh, okay, I get it now. This is for me. And then I just kind of went through their back catalog. And it became my identity in high school. Mm-hmm. And I think we have mentioned before that instead of editing the paper, our school paper, I would just sit there and listen to Here I Dreamt I Was an Architect
mm-hmm.
on loop instead of actually editing. Which, I mean, I could have done both, but why edit? But yeah, that's my history. What's your history, Ryan?
My history is, if I'm remembering correctly, you showed me the Decemberists in junior year because you're like, this is what I'm listening to when I should be editing the paper.
When I was showing you how to edit the paper, I was like, so you go to YouTube.
No, I think that was like my first little foray into them. And honestly, potentially the genre.
I'm surprised. I feel like when I think of your family's vibe and I think of the Decemberists vibe, it's just like, these go together. So I'm surprised somebody in your family hadn't like...
Yes, but you also have to remember, my eldest sister was very, like, top 40s. Middle sister, kind of, but it was mostly, like, emo.
Okay, like, that's fair.
And then my mom would listen to basically whatever Morgan listened to. And then my dad's deaf, so he doesn't listen to anything past, like, 90s, really.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really think of it that way. Once you sit down and think about it.
Once you break down the family drama. No, and so, like, I think very much in high school I was, like, grasping onto any identity, and I just co-opted yours.
It was a big one.
But it started pushing me to, like, listen to different stuff, because I think at the time I was listening to not great stuff. I think fun was prominent. and like Gautier.
I mean, I only know one song from Gautier, but it's a one where if I listen to it I cry, so that's fun.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's good.
Yeah, so I feel like definitely like you kind of introduced me to the band. Mm-hmm. And then I guess I was also listening to like Mumford & Sons, which is not the same thing. But you can see the line that connects the two.
So you turn on the radio, you hear The Cave or Little Lion Man, and you're like, maybe I'm into folk. You find Fleet Foxes, you go, okay, folk can be a little weird. Folk can get kind of funky with it. And then from Fleet Foxes, you go to Decemberists, and it's just like, oh, okay. Time to get weird. Time to hear a song about killing all your children.
Yeah. I would be interested to do a study on the Mumford and Sons to Decemberist pipeline.
It's a real thing.
It's Beware. A real thing.
Do you know what your children are listening to?
It diseased hipsters in the early 2010s.
Potentially before that, even though Mumford and Sons didn't exist.
Yeah.
Before then.
Yep.
How did people find the Decemberists before Mumford and Sons existed?
Probably
I guess the iTunes download. Oh, okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I definitely think like Mountain Goats probably had, because Mountain Goats have been going since like 80s, 90s.
Mm-hmm.
I also have no idea how old the singer of the Mountain Goats is.
He's 13.
Once you hit, like, in my opinion, once you hit, like, 35, you're done, like, that's as old as you get, and then you're like, done. A grandparent, and that's when you start aging again.
I'm 16. I'm a grandmother.
Oh, man.
So this is the Mountain Goats tournament.
Yes.
I hope everybody's ready. I don't know any of their songs. I just know about them. Before we get into the tournament, I would like to point out one flagrant misstep made in the song choosing process. Yes, there are a couple things I think we need to address before we get into it, and I will let you address yours first, since yours is the most pressing.
This bracket is Sons and Daughters Erasure, and I will not stand for it. It is one of their most popular songs. It is good, and I don't care if that makes me basic. I enjoy it.
See, I didn't realize it was like one of their more popular songs.
It's more popular than your favorite song.
It's number 2 on their iTunes, or not iTunes, Spotify.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I was like, huh.
Because it's a good song.
Weird. I've always been neutral to it. It's like, I don't think I hate anything from Crane Wife, but it's just like, I don't seek out Sons and Daughters. It's just sort of the thing that ends the album for me.
I love it. I think it's a great end to the album. I think that it is a great, when he starts repeating, hear all the bombs fade away, like something changes in me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm here for it.
There's also that episode of The Office where they go to Dwight's farm and it's like a backdoor pilot and Dwight's family sings it. And anytime I hear that song, I think of that and I cringe real hard. So that's also part of it.
Yeah, it has been featured in shows, but I don't think that takes away from the song. And we just have to live with that. This gross misstep. And it's fine. I'm an adult.
We all know
I can
the real winner
is
it. Sons and Daughters.
No, I don't want
second
that.
Best.
I don't want that cheap that cheap gratification. We're gonna pick the best song, but I want it noted that this year's gonna have an asterisk because one song didn't get their day in court.
Okay, yeah, we'll put an asterisk on the wiki for this one. So that kind of leads us into, I made the bracket. I'm sorry. I tried to do it evenly between the albums, except for Hazards of Love. And my reasoning was, Hazards of Love is like a rock opera, and it felt weird judging individual songs on their own merit. So I didn't put any songs from that album on here, even though a lot of them rip real hard in a good way. I don't know if that's a good thing, but I meant it in a good way. And then, yeah, I tried to do like 2 songs per album, and then my 2 favorite albums both have 3 songs. So It's a little biased towards Matthew, this bracket.
Yes, which is fine. But there shall be an asterisk.
Yes.
Do you just want to run down the list of 16 songs and then get into it, or do we just want to get into it? I never remember how we did it the year before.
I don't remember either. Let me go listen to the episode real quick. I'm just kidding. Let's do a quick rundown. So, podcast poison.
Boop, boop.
So, our first round is Cavalry Captain versus the Chimbley Sweep, The Mariner's Revenge Song versus After the Bombs, Grace Cathedral Hill versus Here I Dreamt I Was an Architect, Eli the Barrow Boy versus Rise to Me, then The Island versus Rusalka Rusalka / Wild Rushes, The Gymnast High Above the Ground versus The Crane Wife, Make You Better versus Severed, and then we round out with a wholesome Clementine versus Down by the Water. And that's the bracket. Once again, I'm sorry.
Are there any early frontrunners that you think are gonna surprise us in the ranking?
There's a couple quiet upsets I feel like hidden in here. Like Clementine and The Gymnast High Above the Ground.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I don't think, when I think of Decemberist songs, I don't think of them, and then I hear them and I'm like, oh yeah, that's the stuff right there, Colin Malloy.
I feel like I definitely had a similar feeling when I was like going through the playlist, because I haven't listened to the Decemberists in a while. They're not really in my current rotation. Love them, think that they're great, and whenever I hear them, it's never like, ugh, the Decemberists. It's always like, oh my god, this song. So I'm going hard with Chimbley. I'm just kidding. Oh man. But yeah, so let's get into it.
Let's jump in to the tournament. I was going to try to do a reference, but I couldn't think of one. The story of my life. Put it on my tombstone.
Just realized, Matthew, there was supposed to be a reference to.
There was supposed to be a reference, but he couldn't think of one. But in a way now, that'll be a reference to the podcast. So it's meta. Everybody loves a good meta tombstone. Band name, I call it. Let's get into the bracket.
Oh, man.
Okay, so Cavalry Captain versus the Chimbley Sweep. So I think in a fight, a captain would beat up a Chimbley Sweep.
What is a Chimbley?
It's a chimney sweep, but it's a little Cockney boy, so he can't say chimney, so he says Chimbley.
Oh man.
I believe it's a reference to a Robert Blake poem.
Yes.
But that might not be right.
It probably is.
It's been a while since I took General Lit. Or was it General Lit? Yes. Doesn't matter.
And I have no idea. I don't remember any English classes. I barely speak the language. I think that it's obvious that Chimbley Sweep would not win out. It's fine. It's a little too jaunty, I feel like, for the vibe of best song. When we're thinking about Matthew, when we're considering what we think is the best song, and you're thinking about representation.
Sons and Daughters.
No, you can't retroactively add it just because I had feelings.
I almost did, but I felt like that would still not be a good. Okay.
Do you really want to be represented by Chimbley Sweep?
What if I said yes?
We would have a very distinct moment in our relationship very early on in the tournament.
I'm just kidding. It's obviously Cavalry Captain. That opening drum fill thing.
I know.
Have you seen the music video where it's basically Scientology but cool?
No, but I found the episode title.
Scientology but cool. Yeah, in the music video, Colin Malloy's L. Ron Hubbard but cool.
Oh man. Yeah. No, I haven't. I have not. I don't watch the music videos very often.
Okay. I will try my best not to talk about music videos.
No, if it comes down, it comes down. Like,
I think we ran into this on the My Chemical Romance one where I kept talking about music videos and not the songs themselves.
In an all audio format.
Yes. Okay, so we've decided. Cavalry Captain, moving on.
Yes.
Next up, it's a big one. The Mariner's Revenge Song versus After the Bombs. Thoughts?
After the Bombs fucking slaps.
Thank you. Correct. But I will say, I feel like when people think of December songs, I do think they think of Mariner's Revenge Song.
Yeah.
Like, it's quintessential. It's a shanty. It
definitely ticks all those little boxes that they're going
it's
for.
It's Victorian.
When you think
it has
of
a murder.
An elder boy holding a newspaper trying to get people to buy it.
Mm-hmm. Extra, extra, read all about it. Man murdered in belly of whale.
But yeah, no, this level, like, After the Bombs totally slaps. And
the organ solo alone is the reason why I put it on this playlist or this bracket.
That's what I'm interested as we go in to like figure out like why these songs were picked. Aside from just like, it's good.
Matthew liked them. This is the first one where I'm not sure. I mean, so we know the Matthew lore. This next one is Grace Cathedral Hill versus Here I Dreamt I Was an Architect. Mm-hmm. We know the Matthew lore of me listening to this on loop. Mm-hmm. But Grace Cathedral Hill also kind of is a great song.
I don't think that there are any on this playlist that I wouldn't at least give the honor of a really good song.
Chimbley Sweep? Just kidding.
Also, I love Here I Dreamt I Was an Architect. I think it's an absolute banger.
Okay.
It's moody, it's nasty in all the good ways. I'm here for it fully. And I also know that it's going to be a strong contender to fight, so do we maybe knock it out early to let some of the others be highlighted a bit more effectively? And then we can have a double asterisk.
But what if I said I already typed it into the bracket?
That is fair. Moving on.
Moving on. Grace Cathedral Hill is a great song, though.
It is.
Okay.
It's an absolute bop. Absolute banger.
And then another easy one. Mm-hmm. Eli the Barrel Boy versus Rise to Me. Maybe not an easy one. Maybe there's an obvious choice here.
Eli the Barrel Boy.
Yeah. But
is this a disagreement moment?
No, it's not.
I feel like round one we kind of have to like just kind of knock them out, and then we can get more in depth as we go.
Next side of the bracket. The Island versus Rhetorical / The Wild Rushes. Wild Rushes, not The Wild Rushes. These are both real long boys. Mm-hmm. They're both very proggy long boys. Got a bunch of parts to them. Mm-hmm. They're both basically 3 songs jammed together.
Yes.
What's your thinking?
Personally, Rhetorical / Wild Rushes, just because it's more fun to say, though.
Mm-hmm.
don't have this is one where I don't have the strongest opinion between the two. So if you want to pull it one forward.
Okay. I think I'm going to make High School Matthew very mad right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to agree Rusalka Rusalka. Like, The Island was my jam in high school, but when I was listening to it today, it's like that first part, like the first third of it, it's just like, yeah. And then the second third of it, it's just like, okay. And then the end of it feels like playing an acoustic encore on a Wednesday evening. And she's like, okay. I love this song, but I think Rusalka Rusalka hits a little harder.
I'm here for it. And that, folks, is on character growth. Looks like next we're going to be having the Gymnast, High Above the Ground, and the Crane Wife, 1 and 2.
And we can throw 3 in there, just for the triptych.
My whole life isn't about triptychs, Matthew. I do have other things about me. I feel like this is one of the first ones that I'm like, oof, because I really like both.
Mm-hmm. So, I do have a thought.
I would love to hear it.
I think Gymnast High Above the Ground hits a little harder than Crane Wife.
Yeah, I feel like Crane Wife is dipped a little more in nostalgia for me, but like when you actually look at like the bones of the song, which is crucial. Every song has bones, and some have good bones, and some have great bones. Gymnast High Above the Ground has...
some have no bones.
No, everybody's got
ambient
bones.
Music.
But I agree. I think Gymnast High Above the Ground has just like a bit. I feel like Crane Wife is like quintessential Decemberists. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to like just like gloss over the fact, because I feel like it's definitely like how people dip their toes into the band, and I think that's great. Mm-hmm. But stylistically, that Gymnast got good bones. Chef's kiss.
Oh, or is that the episode title? But yeah, that like violin at the end of Gymnast High Above the Ground, living for it.
Ooh.
Okay, moving on. The battle of the newer albums. Mm-hmm. We've got Make You Better and Severed.
My opinion is Severed because I feel like it was like a strong reintroduction to the Decemberists.
And my thought was Make You Better, so this might be a hashtag friend fight.
Because Severed was like their first single in a hot minute, if I'm remembering correctly, right? Mm-hmm. I feel like a couple years ago I remember texting you like, oh my god, the Decemberists released a new album, or like released a new single.
Yeah. And it's a little more like synth poppy than folk.
Which I think is
but Make You Better.
Weird and funky and good.
Make You Better though.
But think of like where pop and like where music was going at that point. It was so synth focused to where like if you didn't have it, synth is so ingrained that Hosier's doing synth now. Like,
oh my god, they got Hosier. I'm willing to give you Severed, but there's gonna be so many asterisks on this bracket.
This whole title is just gonna be asterisks.
So the next matchup, Clementine versus Down by the Water. Thoughts?
Down by the Water fucking can get it. And I can tell by your face that this is another...
This is another contentious one that I was not expecting. Despite the fact that I played it at a talent show, I don't feel that, like, connected to Down by the Water.
Okay, but...
But Clementine is one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard. It's a very like innocent love song, which is something that you don't get from the Decemberists that often. Usually it's like, here's my wife that's a bird who flew away from me, or here's this Russian water spirit that drowned me.
Okay.
This one's just like,
play with me in this space.
Mm-hmm.
When I was going through your playlist and I listened to Clementine, I went, oh, this is a good song. When Down by the Water came on, I a little bit started to cry.
See, I had the opposite reaction. And it wasn't a little bit.
Alright, if it's coming down to tears, I'll give you Clementine. But
if I ever get married, my first dance with my spouse is going to be to Clementine, no matter what they want. Did I say if or when? It should have been if. I don't remember. Play it back.
Oh, man. Okay, I'll give you Clementine. You can't pull out, this is going to be my first wedding, my first dance song, and not expect me to cave. You're playing a dirty game this time, Matthew.
Well, when we do Blink 182, you can pull that on me.
So the listeners understand, Matthew has determined that Blink 182 is going to be my wedding band.
Mm-hmm. It's going to happen. We're putting it out into the world.
I don't want to manifest that.
We're the secreting it. We're the secreting it.
No, I don't want to. I don't want that on my conscience. I think you overestimate how much I like.
Hello there.
Where are you?
See, you know the lyrics. You like them.
That's all it takes to be like, you love a band. You know their lyrics.
You know one line from one of their songs. Okay, round 2. Starting off hard with Cavalry Captain versus After the Bombs.
Oh, see, I don't think so. I think After the Bomb slaps harder than Cavalry's Captain. Like, when it comes down to it, and when I'm thinking of the grand scheme of things, what it has to come down to is 2 things. Do that song got bones?
Mm-hmm.
How hard do them bones slap?
There's another title. We gotta stop saying good titles. It's gonna be like, the most Decemberist thing we could do is just do all of them, but like the first one in parentheses, the next one, comma, the next one, or the next one. Okay, I've typed in After the Bombs. I agree with you.
Oh,
okay.
Man.
Oh no. The next round's gonna be real hard.
Is it? Because again, I feel like this is just
No, I meant the round after this one.
Okay, I was like, I feel like we know.
we know between Here I Dreamt I Was an Architect and Eli the Bearer Boy which one. But next round it's gonna be Here I Dreamt I Was an Architect versus After the Bombs, and I don't know if I'm emotionally prepared for that moment.
I have opinions now. And I might hurt some feelings with those opinions.
I'm gonna go ahead and type in Here I Dreamt I Was an Architect.
To the next round? No.
No? Eli the Barrow Boy?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I thought we were getting, like, very ahead of ourselves.
No. Eli the Barrow Boy, once again, quintessential December song. Here I Dreamt I Was an Architect. Got that nostalgia for me. I assume you are in a similar boat.
Yes.
Okay. Rusalka, the gymnast high above the ground. Once again, we know the answer.
Yeah, I feel like we knocked out a lot of the hard, like the super hard ones. So I think this round's gonna be easier.
Just wait till the end, my bud.
But the last 2-3 rounds are gonna be roof.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so obviously it's the gymnast high above the ground.
Obviously.
Rusalka, it slaps, it fucks, it does all the things. I can't spell. But the gymnast high above the ground is just chef's kiss.
It's just beauty. It's just beauty and grace. And it slaps you in your face.
That rhymed, so it's true. Okay, so next it's the battle of the concessions next.
Yes.
I conceded you Severed, you conceded me Clementine. I will remind you.
Clementine is much more quintessential. I think Here's where I was with Severed. I knew it wasn't going to win. I understood that. But I did not want to disregard their step into synth. I think that it was a very important music moment for them. I loved it. I sounded. When I think of who needs to win the tournament, it needs to be a quintessential Decemberist song. Like, when you think Decemberists, it needs to fall into that category. Clementine does that. I just wanted Severed to have its moment in the sun.
Okay.
So...
I don't think Clementine is going to win it, though. But
no, but it is a better song than Severed. I just didn't want Severed to be... I didn't want people to be like, well, they just don't like their new shit.
We've got, like, so much new stuff on here, though. And so much of their new stuff is good. Okay. Here's where it gets real. Because we got... Let's see. We got After the Bombs versus Here I Dreamt I Was an Architect. What are your thoughts?
After the Bombs. Here I Dreamt I Was an Architect is good, but compared to the two, it's a little one note.
Joke's on you, there are several notes in that song. I think I would agree. That organ solo in After the Bombs, when it kicks in, it shoots you into space.
It does. There's just something about it. Like, I feel like Here I Dreamt I Was an Architect, like, you get into it and then you understand what the song is, and then they keep playing and then the song ends. Is it a good song? Yes. Did it slap? Yes. But getting back to the bones. Which honestly, going in, I really thought Here I Dreamt I Was an Architect was going to take it all, but after looking at the way the matchups are going, I really think that After the Bombs is just a slightly better song.
I think that organ solo tips it over the edge for me, so I think
Yes.
High School Matthew can never hear this, but I agree.
Good thing that time doesn't work that way.
High School Matthew also thought After the Bomb slapped, so... Okay. And I'm just going to go ahead and type in the Gymnast.
Wait, what's going against the Gymnast? I have opinions, don't
Clementine?
Just assume.
It's versus Clementine.
Ooh. I don't know, you kind of got me with your moment of, like, if I ever get married and I want to dance. Like, that made me happy to, like, picture. It's like, Clementine has a stronger spot in my brain now.
I think there is more of an emotional weight behind Clementine. But then that violin...
I will leave it up to you because you have the stronger emotional tie to both.
No.
And
oh no.
I said many things about After the Bomb. Unless you want me to pick, in which case I will pick, but you're not going to be happy with it because the one you're feeling is not the one that I think.
Okay. So, the Gymnast high above the ground. Pros and cons. Pros. That violin. Pro. That weird, like, sound in the background. Love that sound. I think that's also violin, but I think it's, like, looped. Cons. Clementine pros. It makes me cry. I'm gonna dance at it I'm gonna dance to it if I ever get married. Cons. It does say the F word, so I'm gonna have to explain that to my mom when I do dance to it when I get married. So I'm not gonna look forward to that. I think it's an upset. I think it's Clementine.
I mean, I think it's Clementine, but you did give that one a con, and Gymnast didn't have a con.
That's just because my mom's never gonna hear it.
You just have to train the DJ to just turn it down real fast and then back up.
Yeah, or
add a bass middle of a Decemberist song.
And left you with sweet all. Or alternative, we get the Decemberists to come just to play that one song. Well, I guess it's just I just need Colin Malloy because I don't think there's anything but him and guitar. Well, is there? Do I know what the song sounds like?
This is the very crucial part of the podcast where we don't remember if we've ever actually listened to the band we're judging.
We're talking about the Decemberists, right? Is that how you say it? How do you say Decemberists?
The Octoberists?
We're going Clementine.
The Decemberists? This is January.
Oh. That was the good joke sound.
Wow, I hate you.
That was a January hymn, which is a December song that's not on the bracket. Okay.
Before we do the final battle, why don't we hop over to Hydration Station real quick?
Okay.
Hydration Station.
Hello, and welcome to Hydration Station, the part of the show where we try to cross Annan waters, but our mom, who's also a forest god, drowns us with our lover, the Decemberists.
Just take a drink of water.
Take a drink of water, listen to that, or Rusalka, because they both talk about water.
Stay hydrated, make sure you're drinking responsibly. Hydration Station.
Okay. The big one.
The biggin.
So, after the bombs versus Clementine, your thoughts?
Clementine is sweet, but them bones. The organ, yes. The bones, solid. Can't knock over that skeleton. The bones, too thick.
The center of gravity is too low on this song.
That is a stout song. Clementine, is it sweet? Yes. Does it have a good curse in it? Yes. But when I'm thinking of Matthew, when I'm thinking of the best, when I'm
you think of the Foo Fighters,
the best song by the Decemberists. See how I'm glossing over your Foo Fighters comment because they don't belong here.
Get out of here, Dave Grohl. You weren't invited. That's next year.
It's not. I refuse to weigh in on anything about the Foo Fighters. But when I think of the best, Matthew, it's gotta be After the Bombs. Also, I think... Oh, no, you didn't. I was like, I think on accident you actually put it in the winner's bracket, but you didn't.
I don't think there is a winner's.
There kind of is.
Oh, it's tiny.
Yeah, it's a little guy.
Okay.
No, it's not. It's Big Boy.
Oh.
You just clicked on the cell above it.
Okay. Clementine. What can I say that hasn't already been said?
Nothing. Give it to After the Bombs.
I think that I think Clementine, as beautiful as it is a little too mellow.
I was gonna say, when I think Decemberists, I don't think love song. I think a lot of nautical shit. Several mentions to war.
Infanticide.
Infanticide. Hating your wife.
Well, nah. Sometimes.
And bombs. before and after them.
Yes. Here, all the bombs fade away.
No.
And the winner is
need to get it out
Sons
of
and Daughter.
Get that song out of your mouth. You don't deserve to say it.
But yeah, after the bombs slaps too hard, it fucks so hard, it whips. Is that a thing? It ghost rides the whip.
Okay.
I'm cool.
I think that... and that's the podcast, folks.
And it weirdly was the end of the podcast, but not for the reason we thought. Matthew tried to be hip, and it was too much. But yeah. Oops. Oh, well, I guess Clementine's just disappearing.
It's gone.
After the bombs is the winner.
Do you have any final thoughts? Are you surprised about any of the decisions that we made? I feel like this was a little too tame.
Yeah.
Too collaborative. I mean, I'm not here for that. I'm here for the... I'm here for the goddammits and whose sister's gonna text back first.
We probably could, but my sister would just be like, "What's Clementine?" I don't know. She might actually love Clementine. But I kind of went into this with the mindset of just being like, I don't care what Ryan says after the bombs is gonna win.
I don't feel like that was... I feel like, in my brain, I thought Here I Dreamt I Was an Architect was gonna take the whole thing home.
I feel like the lore of it looms large over my legend. But I feel like... Sorry, I've listened to a lot of Decemberists, so I'm gonna talk real weird today.
Matthew getting verbose up in here.
I'm going to talk like an English graduate student today. But I mean, that organ solo just, it kicks in and your brain, like your consciousness goes up a level. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, oh, this is like, it rips, it grips, it does a flip, and what are your thoughts?
I thought Here I Dreamt I Was an Architect was gonna go further, but I think that it hit after the bombs too quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the randomizer did not make for a dramatic episode. I probably should have fudged the numbers a little, but...
Nah, I like it, because we picked the good one. The second best Decemberist. I'm joking.
Yeah, it's not another teenagers.
But yeah. So we did it. We ranked it after the bombs. Listeners, do you agree? Do you have strong opinions about
Sons and Daughters?
Sons and Daughters. I would love to hear them. Yell at me in the comments, please.
I feel like I'm in the minority on this one. And everybody really likes it. And I just don't get it.
It's a good song. I don't know what else I need to tell you.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad song. It's just, I don't know. I just don't know. But After the Bombs is a great song. So listen to it. Listen to all the songs on this. You know, at the end of the day, everybody just needs a good organ solo in their life. And After the Bombs does that.
It does do that. Mm-hmm. So this has been Rhetorical Magic Cocktail Hour. If you like what you listen to, give us a follow, subscribe maybe. I don't understand.
Like, comment, and subscribe. Smash that like button.
Smash that like
Hit
button.
That bell.
If you didn't like it, tell us why. And preemptively, we're sorry. As we say at the end of every episode, be good to one another and clink, clink.
And after the podcast is done,
Yeah.
What if we did a bracket of a band that neither of us knew? And it's just like, I assume this song is okay.
Don't listen to
don't
them.
Listen,
no.
Yeah, we don't listen to them. We just pick out song titles.
I like it. We might have to try that next year. Because I feel like we're running out of bands with large discographies that we both like.